Welcome to the new era of video creation with HeyGen. Simply type your script to get started.
Rachel, a 32-year-old woman, had always dreamed of a day filled with love, joy, and family standing proudly by her side. But when her cold, dismissive parents refused to attend her wedding out of sheer indifference, she made a choice. They would never forget what they walked away from. With the pain of rejection burning inside her, Rachel transformed her wedding into an unforgettable statement. She crafted every detail with intention, from the breathtaking venue bathed in golden light to the magical atmosphere pulsing with laughter and devotion. As her parents remained absent, her heart found healing in the warmth of friends, mentors, and a fiancé who cherished her. And while they stayed silent, she ensured they would see everything they missed. She sent them a beautifully wrapped package containing every radiant moment of the day, proof of what they had so easily discarded. When regret finally arrived in the form of a late-night message, Rachel realized something powerful. She didn't need their approval. Her joy had blossomed in their absence. What would you do if your parents skipped your wedding? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more real stories like this. For years, Rachel had lived under the weight of her parents' indifference. Every success she achieved was met with silence or mild acknowledgement, never pride or celebration. She grew up constantly trying to earn their love, through good grades, career milestones, and acts of loyalty, but it was never enough. The emotional distance between them only widened as she matured, turning her into someone who doubted her worth every time they overlooked her happiness. So when her wedding day approached, she hesitated to tell them, fearing more coldness. True to form, their response was blunt and devastating. They saw no reason to attend. That message shattered the last piece of hope Rachel had clung to. It wasn't just about skipping a ceremony. It was a confirmation of years of neglect. Her wedding wasn't the beginning of her loneliness. It was the final act in a long story of emotional abandonment. That moment forced Rachel to confront the truth. Her joy would never come from them. Rachel spent most of her life chasing the impossible dream of her parents' approval. She believed that if she worked hard enough, achieved enough, or became someone they could be proud of, they would finally show her the love she longed for. But their decision to skip her wedding shattered that illusion completely. It was no longer a question of effort or worth. It was a matter of choice, and they had chosen to turn away. For the first time, Rachel saw the truth clearly. Their lack of support was not a reflection of her failure, but theirs. She wasn't unworthy. They were incapable of offering the unconditional love she deserved. This painful clarity brought with it unexpected strength. No longer burdened by the need to prove herself, Rachel felt something shift inside her. She let go of the impossible standards and the aching need for validation. In that moment, she stopped waiting for them to change and started honoring her own value instead. Once Rachel accepted that her parents would never show up for her, something inside her ignited. Her wedding was no longer just a celebration of love. It became a personal declaration of strength and self-worth. Every decision she made was deliberate, a reflection of her desire to create something unforgettable. She chose a breathtaking garden venue, where golden lights danced through the trees and flowers cascaded like a living painting. Each element, from the music to the decor, was curated to radiate beauty and meaning. But more than aesthetics, it was about proving to herself that joy didn't depend on the people who failed her. Surrounded by genuine supporters, she poured her heart into the experience, not to impress her parents, but to honor herself and the love she had found. This wasn't just a wedding, it was a rebirth. Rachel turned heartbreak into empowerment, ensuring that the day they chose to ignore would become the one moment they could never erase. As the wedding day drew near, Rachel felt a deep shift in her focus. Rather than mourning the absence of her parents, she embraced the love that surrounded her. Friends who had stood by her side for years, mentors who believed in her potential, and coworkers who had become like family. These were the people who showed up. Their enthusiasm and support reminded her that she was not alone, and that her life was filled with authentic, meaningful connections. The excitement grew with each RSVP that arrived, each message filled with joy and anticipation. These were the voices that mattered now, the ones who genuinely wanted to celebrate her happiness. Rachel no longer looked for validation in the places that had failed her. Instead, she found it in the warmth of those who cared deeply. Their presence reminded her that love is not measured by titles or blood, but by those who choose to stand by you, even when others walk away. On the day of her wedding, Rachel stood beneath the golden lights, surrounded by the beauty she had so carefully created, and felt a peace she never expected. As she looked into her fiancé Jason's eyes, every trace of disappointment faded. The absence of her parents, once a heavy wound, no longer had the power to overshadow her joy. In their place stood people who truly loved her, people who had chosen, time and again, to be there. The ceremony unfolded with genuine emotion, vows spoken with trembling voices, laughter echoing through the air, and the overwhelming feeling that something sacred was taking place. Rachel finally understood that this day was never about who didn't come. It was about who did. Love was not defined by biology, but by presence. And in that defining moment, surrounded by those who embraced her fully, she no longer felt lacking. She felt whole. Her heart was full, not with pain, but with the purest kind of joy. Every magical moment of Rachel's wedding was preserved with intention. She hired a skilled photographer and videographer not just to document the day, but to create a lasting reminder of everything her parents chose to miss. From the joyful tears of her best friend to the unwavering love in Jason's eyes, each image captured a truth that couldn't be denied. The laughter, the dancing, the heartfelt speeches, none of it was staged, yet all of it was powerful. This wasn't about revenge, but about clarity. Rachel wanted them to see in undeniable detail what their absence had cost. It wasn't spite, it was a reflection of what she had built without them. She made sure every frame and every shot carried meaning, a message woven into each smile and celebration. These weren't just pictures, they were proof. Her parents had dismissed her happiness, but now they would have to witness it, etched in images they could never undo. After the wedding, Rachel prepared a gift unlike any other, one her parents could not ignore. Wrapped in soft gold ribbon, the package held a curated photo album and a USB drive containing the full video of her wedding. Each photo was chosen with care, moments of unfiltered joy, deep emotion, and heartfelt connection. Alongside it, she included a short letter, honest, direct, and unflinching. She expressed how much their absence had hurt, how for years she believed their presence defined her worth, and how, on her happiest day, she finally let that belief go. Her words were not filled with bitterness but with truth. It was a message, not meant to punish but to reveal what they had turned away from. Rachel didn't ask for pity or apology. She simply laid bare the reality. They had missed something extraordinary, not because they couldn't be there, but because they chose not to. And now, they had to face what they had willingly abandoned. Days passed in silence after Rachel sent the package, and for a while, she wondered if her parents would simply bury their guilt like they always had. But then, late one evening, her phone lit up with a message from her mother. It was short, but the regret was unmistakable. "We watched the video. We saw everything." A moment later, another message followed, from her father, finally admitting they had made a mistake. It was the first time they acknowledged the depth of their failure. But as Rachel read their words, she didn't feel the relief she once thought she would. Instead, she felt something stronger, liberation. She had built a life, a love, and a memory that needed no validation from them. While their remorse was real, it came too late to change what had already been forged in their absence. Rachel had found happiness without them, and now they were the ones left to grapple with the memory of what they had refused to be part of. In the months that followed, Rachel's parents began making efforts to reconnect, attending family gatherings, sending messages, and trying to rebuild what they had once neglected. She didn't shut them out, but she moved forward with caution, no longer desperate for their approval. Their absence on her wedding day had taught her something that years of emotional distance never could. Real love is shown in action, not words or promises. They had made a conscious choice to turn away during one of the most meaningful moments of her life, and that choice had consequences. While she had forgiven them enough to allow space for healing, she never forgot the pain of their silence. Her wedding had been beautiful not despite their absence, but because of the people who showed up with open hearts. Rachel's journey wasn't about revenge. It was about reclaiming her worth. And though her parents now lived with the weight of regret, she carried forward with peace, knowing she no longer needed their presence to feel whole. This story teaches us that true love is shown through presence, not just words. It reminds us that seeking validation from those who continually dismiss us only leads to pain, and that healing begins when we recognize our own worth. Rachel's journey proves that even in the absence of those who should have cared, we can still create joy, build meaningful connections, and move forward stronger. Her story is a powerful reminder to value the people who do show up. If this touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Share what this story meant to you.